Rush Limbaugh, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies on Friday.
And now, from sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday.
Potentially one of the most fun, busy broadcast days of the week. This is where you get to choose what it is that we talk about. You see, if you're new to the program, the way it works Monday through Thursday, people on the phones have to talk about what I care about. Otherwise, they don't get on because I don't want to be bored. And you don't want to be bored listening to me be bored. But on Friday, I take a giant media career risk. And I throw those requirements out. And whatever people want to talk about is fine. If I don't care, I fake it. It doesn't matter. So the telephone number is 800-282-2882 and the email address lrushbo@eibnet.com. If you're just joining us, we're still talking about the economy, the unemployment news. I played some sound bites from the president an hour ago. He went to the microphones in the White House an hour ago, right at the beginning of this program. And I have to tell you, what we saw today in Obama's media appearance and his statement is a cold-hearted man. And I mean this, cold-hearted. We saw a president who is spinning the worst economic recovery numbers in modern history. We didn't see any compassion. We didn't see any concern. We didn't see any caring. We saw a cold, calculating president spinning what is disastrous news into a way that he can benefit from. There's nothing in this economic news that ought to benefit anybody. There is nobody anywhere in the United States government who is an architect of this who ought to benefit an iota from what they have done and what they are doing. There is nobody in this regime, nobody in this administration who deserves to benefit from this. And yet, here is our cold-hearted, calculating, young president showing no compassion whatsoever for the people in this country who are really suffering from his policies. The people in this country who are suffering are doing so because of him, because of his policies. And he's spinning this and spinning these numbers in such a way as to lie to the American people about how good things are and how they are improving. And if your life isn't improving and it isn't getting better and you listen to this guy spin that it is, you got to be scratching your head and say, what am I missing? Why am I being left out? Let me assure you, you aren't being left out. Let me tell you why he's doing this. I'll beat my head against the wall again. We're dealing with a man, Barack Obama, who is a revolutionary. A revolutionary. And as such, he believes that is the case in all revolutions. There is a period of pain and suffering. Not by him. Not by his friends. So-called masses. And that's the price must be paid to transform society, to achieve social and economic justice, which is so long overdue. There must be some suffering. It had to happen. This country was founded illegitimately. This country was founded immorally. This country must pay the price for that. And sadly, there will be a price to pay, and it is going to be one of economic hardship, but we deserve it because we have been living a lie. The lie of the United States' founding. We have been living an unjust country. We have been purloining everything of value all over the world, stealing it for ourselves. Why, we've been conquering other nations, and we've been going in and taking their oil and taking everything else they want, and then calling ourselves a superpower. That's how he looks at it. So he's come along. And now for the first time in 260 years, 210 years, whatever the number, for the first time in 225, 30 years, we're going to get it right. For the first time since our founding, finally somebody's here who understands exactly how this nation did it and how guilty we are. And it's time for revolution. And we're going to do it, and there's a price to pay. And that price to pay is pain and suffering. All revolutions have them. Ask Fidel. Ask Hugo. Ask Che. Ask Mao. Stalin. They all know. Every revolution has a price. The price is pain and suffering. Not by him, though. Not by the leaders. Not by the leaders and the leaders' friends and elite buddies. No, no, no. The pain and suffering is borne by the masses. The pain and suffering is borne by the unemployment numbers, the lack of economic growth numbers, the healthcare debacle and disaster. That's the pain and suffering. That's the price that must be paid in order to achieve social and economic justice that has never existed in this country before. See, where we are now, folks, is that the people who have benefited from the way this country was founded, the people in this society who've gotten rich, the people in this country, the top 1%, those that have had the power, the genuine descendants of the founding fathers, also a bunch of rich white guys. They set it up for themselves and for other people like them, and they knew what they were doing. They were setting up a phony, fraudulent country to take care of only themselves, and everybody else is going to be working to make them rich. Well, those days are over. And now we got somebody who understands social justice. And now we have somebody who understands economic justice. We have somebody who understands fairness and freedom and liberty in the right way. We have a guy now who's going to make sure that anybody who benefited from this corrupt, immoral society now pays a price so that others might achieve. That's how he sees this country. It's not just him. It's how his staff sees the country. It's how most of the Democrat Party sees the country these days. It's not LBJ's Democrat Party. It's not your grandfather's Democrat Party anymore. It's not your grandfather's media. They all are aligned. This notion, this nation is corrupt, was founded as such, and the people who have benefited didn't really deserve it. The people who benefited, they won life's lottery. The people that benefited, luck. You hear it. Obama says it in his own words, using his own terminology. Winners of life's lottery, or just luck, or not paying their fair share, or whatever. But now they're going to. That's how this man sees this country. And that's why when he goes out to the microphone today to try to spin all this into great news, you got nothing but cold-hearted selfishness. Spinning the worst economic recovery in modern history in such a way as to make you think that there is good news and that he's responsible for it, and we can't go back to the unjust, immoral ways that were established in this nation's founding. He's been honest about it from the get-go. He said his job was to spread the wealth. He said his job was to transform the country. But still, even at this point in time, to this day, folks, there are people in this country who refuse to even consider the possibility of what I just said being true. They don't want to. Many people can't conceive that somebody who thinks this way has actually been elected president. It doesn't happen. Presidents love the country, Rush. Presidents only want what's great for the country. No, not now. We don't have a president who believes in America, not in American exceptionalism, not in the America of her founding. That's just the way it is. I tell you a little story. I mentioned it to the end of the first hour that one of the things about all this that really bothers me, I cringe when I see opportunity being squelched and shut off for people. I really mean it when I say I want everybody to have the same opportunity I had. I love sharing good things that happen. This country is one of the greatest things that ever happened to humanity. But on even there are people trying to take advantage of it. I got a note at the top of the hour that reminded me of something just happened this week. As I told you, I got my iPad fixed, so it now receives the LTE signal, the new real genuine 4G. From AT&T. Verizon's had this area covered for a while, but AT&T just did it. But at my fashionable oceanside estate, the LTE signal is very weak. So I asked some people to submit bids on putting in a series of repeaters and boosters to see if it'd be possible on the property to get the LTE signal stronger. To get this. One of the proposals is for $30,000. $30,000 for 13 repeaters and boosters, 2 in my library because the room's so big. 1 for at my desk and 1 for the rest of the room. Robert, what do you mean 2? Why do I need 2? Well, ever since the iPhone 4S came out, it's a whole different thing, boosting signals. Do you think I am a blooming idiot? That because of the iPhone 4, I'm not even talking about using an iPhone 4S here. There's no LTE in it yet. So it's $30,000 to put a series. Brian, what would this normally cost? $800? Maybe $1,000 to go out and get this done? Even if it's just one room. But I knew something was wrong when the guy wanted $3,000 just to put a booster at my desk because the booster in the library wouldn't be big enough to cover the desk area, even though it's part of the room. So, yeah, I mean, when you open it, Rush really says he loves to share. Well, okay, let's find out how eager he is. There's a whole business of people out there that their whole job is separate people from their money. You just have to be on the lookout for it. Anyway, I take a brief time out. When we come back, I promise, your turn on the phones. Don't go away.